this is all designed to build up a mentality to be able to operate in austere conditions. And that could be a number of different scenarios. You know, having a community response group is one that comes to mind. Being able to do a search and rescue or to respond in emergency situations in your community, especially as things deteriorate. Everything you need on my person right now. So I'm going to break it down for you, show you what's in the bag, how I put it in the bag, and how to make it so it's nice and balanced, feels good on you, and so it won't get in your way when you're in the field. So let's do that. So we got the loadout here, but I have everything inside of here, including my sleep system, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but there are tie downs on a lot of these kinds of bags where you could put something below the bag, but I like to have everything in the bag. Okay, so let's go over the items for Scout Level 1. I have, of course, this boonie hat, which is covered under the sort of clothing section. You know what? I think what we'll do is we'll start with what I have on my person, because that's kind of interesting too. I have a small waist belt here, aka fanny pack, and in here there's some hand warmers. This is great to be able to get to things that you don't want to have to put your bag down to get to, like this notepad if you're taking notes. I have a pen. It's good to have a pencil, or even a Sharpie is a good way to go. This is a signaling mirror so that you can signal someone from a distance if you're lost. It says 2 pouches. They have larger ones than this. This one's kind of small. That's a little shovel for digging cat holes. One in the bathroom. Got my compass in here. Headlamp. This is an emergency whistle. Also good for signaling if you're lost or for other purposes. It does have a clip, so I could clip this, or I could wear it around my neck as well. Same thing with the compass. Could be worn around the neck if you're using it for navigation. This is a Sunto compass, by the way. Multi-tool. This is just some batteries for the headlamp, some spare batteries. So that's it for the waist pack. I have a couple of gloves clipped here so that I can have access to them easy. I have my handsaw on my waist. This is the Laplander handsaw. I think you get it for $20, $20, $30. And I have a case for it. I have my belt knife. And this is bear spray. Also on my person, in my small pocket here, I have a lighter. Now, if you get separated from your bag for some reason, it's good to have some of this stuff on you, like a lighter, so you can start a fire. And then I have a pocket knife that has a few different tools: screwdriver, can opener, nice blade, and an awl. Okay, and then on the outside of the bag, I have, it's nice, these pockets can be tucked away, or they can be pulled out, and it has a strap to keep it from swinging around, which is really good. So I have, this is a clean canteen. It's a 32-ounce bottle, single wall stainless steel, so you can boil water in this. And then this is a stainless steel cup, which you could also cook in, and it nests nicely. I got this at Walmart for a few bucks. This was like 20. On the other side, I have another stainless steel cup. You could have 2 of these water bottles instead. I got this a while back just to check it out. This is a Stanley cook cup. It has a handle, which is nice. So you could boil water in here, stainless steel. And so you could, make a noodle soup or something like that. You can cook water, cook whatever you need to in here. So put that over here. Okay. Gonna loosen up these compression straps. In the front pocket here, I have a couple of high want calorie dense foods. These are a couple of bars, protein bars. I have a couple of gloves that are more for keeping your hands warm, not necessarily for work, and more insulated. I have this in this pocket here. This is the topographic map with a waterproof cover, and there's a protractor in there as well. I could keep this on me in my pocket as well, if I needed to use it more often. And then this is just a little thing that I keep some other stuff in, easy to slide in and out. And in here we have 1-inch roll of duct tape. Cutlery for eating. I don't need all of that, but why not? And then these are a couple of fire starters. You can do fat wood instead, char cloth is a lighter. So you have redundancies for starting fires. And then this is a ferro rod, which is another redundancy. And then it has some duct tape wrapped on the end, kind of as a handle, but can also be used as a fire starter. 50 feet of paracord. Well, I think that's it for this pocket. And I am opening up the top of the bag. It's a roll top, which keeps it waterproof. All right, I got some food in here. Soup, some pulled pork, some rice. This is a water purification system. It's a pump it, and you can fill up one of these water bottles. Summer sausage. This is quite a few calories here. Stocking cap. Keep your head warm. This is a winter condition. So this pack is actually packed for winter conditions. Probably be lighter, less bulky if it wasn't winter, and if it was more like 50 degrees or higher, we could probably get away with a smaller sleeping system. I'll show you the sleep system here in a minute. That's at the bottom of the pack. This is a rain poncho. It's a military rain poncho. It has grommets, so it can be used as a shelter as well. When I have that kind of at the top there underneath my food, so if it starts raining, I can get to it. This is a chamois, which is a cotton cloth or handkerchief, but it's really big. It can be used to filter water, as a sling, or a bandage, and to cover your head in the sun, keep your skin safe. This I have in a plastic bag just to keep it waterproof, keep it dry. This is fuel, and this is the stove that attaches to it, so I can cook on that instead of having to start a fire, which in an operational environment is probably the way to go, if even that. A lot of times you would just use food that doesn't require to be cooked. All right, and then I have a sleeping pad, self-inflatable. This is good for getting yourself off the ground. You put this, depending on how your setup, I'll show you how I'm going to set it up with what I have here. But basically, this gets you off the ground, keeps you warmer. Very, very useful. Although, if you're out for a 24-hour period and you're not really sleeping for comfort, you may even forego having this. You can also use pine boughs and different things to get yourself up off the ground but you need 4 inches for that kind of approach. And there's only 2 more things in here. This is a sleeping bag. It's rated for 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a good, combined with if you're wearing the right base layers, insulation, um, can be pretty good up to a pretty cold wind. So I just stuffed that down in there. In fact, I stuffed it inside this, which is a Gore-Tex bivy sack. It's a military bivy, and it's really military tough. There's lighter weight ones, but this zipper is super robust. Makes it so that you can get in and out of it very quickly, which is important if you're, in a situation where you need to get up and go fast. So this is completely waterproof as well. So if you don't have a waterproof backpack, of course you could put a rain cover over that. You can also put a contractor's trash bag. You can put that in your bag inside the backpack and then put your stuff in that, and that will keep it waterproof. But this also acts, because it's completely waterproof, you can basically stuff this down into your bag and then put your stuff down into this thing, which was bivy, and that will keep all your stuff dry. All right, so that's everything that's on the list to bring for your 24-hour overnight trip for the Scout Level 1 on the collapse curriculum. And this is, it's everything you need to stay hydrated, to navigate, to set up shelter, to stay warm, start a fire, eat, all that kind of stuff. Yep. So with that approach, again, what I did was I put the bivy into my bag all the way down to the bottom, and then I stuffed the sleeping bag inside of that. I put the pad on top of that, and then I just started putting stuff in the bag in the order of when I would need it and weight. So you want the weight to be centered in the middle of the bag towards your own center of gravity. And so, like the water and stuff like that, I was on the outside of the bag. Some of this stuff was on my person in this pouch or on the exterior pocket of the bag that were things that would be nice to be able to access quickly. And then things like extra clothes, stocking cap and stuff like that were more towards the top, along with the rain poncho and the chamois in the bag. So in a previous article, we did talk about different kinds of rucksacks that you can get. One that's really affordable that you can get used. There's a lot of them out there. Is the Alice Medium Pack, which was the military standard backpack for a number of years. It's a big single pocket. You can stuff your sleep system in there and a bunch of other stuff. And then it has 3 big pockets on the outside that you can put, your rations in and different tools and stuff. So that's a good choice. Several others that I mentioned on there. All right, so having everything that you need and being able to pack it, take it with you is kind of the first step of Scout Level 1, which is the collapse curriculum. So we'll move forward from here and actually start going out into the field with this gear and talking about how we use this gear, how we start fires, how we set up shelters, how we navigate, and how we cook our food, take notes, things like that. This is all designed to build up a mentality to be able to operate in austere conditions, and that could be a number of different scenarios. Having a community response group is one that comes to mind. Being able to do a search and rescue or to respond in emergency situations in your community, especially as things deteriorate from ecological catastrophes, climate change, all these things that are happening, social unrest, whatever it might be, power outages, natural disasters, things like that. Having people who are ready to go into the field and be able to, be out there and survive in, unfriendly conditions, it's important. It's about building up a skill set that will allow us to adapt, to be able to start changing the way we live. If you have, I've written about on my website communities that have resisted oppressive state and non-state actors alike, like the Kurds in Syria, who had to deal with not only the Syrian government, but then the Islamic State. So anyway, point is, they were able to enact their own sovereignty because everyday citizens have these kinds of skills. I talk about the Zapatistas in an article on my website as well. Their ability to have autonomy in Mexico. They're indigenous people, and whether it's the state itself, the Mexican state, or the cartels, people encroaching on their lands, pushing them further and further away from their homelands, making it more difficult to live while they fought back. And it's having these kinds of skill sets. Every person in the community should have, generally speaking, these kinds of skill sets to be able to operate, to be able to mobilize, flee, do reconnaissance, whatever it might be. So it's raining now, and good thing we're under shelter. But always be prepared for whatever situation that you might be in. And this is the best way to start. These are principles: being able to start a fire, being able to set up a shelter, to stay warm in a cold situation. So stay tuned. We're getting right into the good stuff. Thanks for watching. Stay resilient, stay prepared.